Greetings and welcome to TFT Tarot for today. Divine Dabblings with Oberon and Banshee. And it's me, Oberon, with Goth Tarot, my weekly exploration into the philosophies, feelings, emotions, situations that involve people who are more Gothic in approach, maybe interested in shadow sides of themselves more than others are. So I've been doing this program for a couple years, and I'm always evolving the cards I use or how I spread them. And I recently finished the summer solstice version of the show, which is still on the playlist here for YouTube. You can check it out. But I've decided to kind of go with a little bit of that and combining it with the previous version, where I basically create a magical star, a mystic 7-star spread, where I have two interlaced triangles, and each of those 6 points has a different meaning. So I'm going to use the Notoria and the Goetia, which are twin decks, kind of intended to be used together or to have some actual intersectionality. It's a Lo Scarabeo deck, and it's designed by Fabio Lestrani, who does a lot of really cool decks that I really like. So I'm going to begin right now. And so for the first triangle, I'm going to use the light-sided deck, which, as I mentioned, is the Notoria. The cardstock is very sturdy on these, and therefore a little stiff to shuffle. Card 1 from the light triangle, position 1. What does light ask of you? What are the best things that you can do? It's the Ace of Pentacles. So what does light ask of you? I think this is saying there's a new beginning, that maybe light is asking of you to be generous in all ways, not just, materialistically, money-wise, but in ways that connote security and a sense of a family feel or legacy feel for people, a foundation, a feeling that they belong, a bigger house than normal. So I think light asks of us that we show people we are about foundations and we are about building, no matter how they may perceive us as goth people. All right then, so our second card, why this is important. It's the reversed 7 of Cups, which I shall lay there. Why it is important? Well, the reverse 7 of Cups says, this is the dream, this is the ideal that we probably have been thinking of or resonating towards for some time perhaps, or at least now in the current circumstance. But that idea would be that we've understood how we can share something that is our light aspect, and that it really does correlate with what our vision is. Just because we're goth-minded people doesn't mean that we're hoping for an age of darkness to descend. We want all people to be treated fairly and with respect. So then where will all of this lead to, the third point on this triangle? Oh dear, it's the Three of Swords. So for all our intents and purposes, this may move us to some sense of heartbreak, some sense of separation. You know, it's awfully lonely when you find that maybe your spiritual ambitions or your ambitions in general are more pure or more divisive amongst other people. It's lonely at the top, as they say. It's lonely at the top. That's what I was actually looking for there. So that's kind of, you know, sad there that maybe we might not do exactly what we think we're doing. We might really pull some people out of our orbit. But on the other hand, maybe those are the ones who are meant to be out of our orbit. So you have to consider that too. We're now going to move to the second pyramid, which is, of course, the dark-sided one. And I'm using the Goetia, the complement to the Notoria. So I am now going to shuffle those cards. Also sturdy, long-lasting, stiff cards. But you know, practice makes perfect, so if I keep working with them, I'm sure they'll get better. Now, the first point of this pyramid, of the dark pyramid, is what is your dark, most egotistic need? What is that thing that sort of drives you in a not great way, maybe? And it's the upright Page of Swords. There's a sense of a dance here, that our need is to really sort of show a bit of flamboyance about ourselves. It's not so much about saying, oh, we're right about things. It's about saying we're just a little bit more special. And this kind of resonates strongly with me because I sort of believe that that's what's been happening in society now. Everybody wants to be special. But there are some other thoughts here too with that, you know, and partially that is that it's not all about vanity. It is also too about a contribution that maybe some of us are conceited enough to feel that we alone or in few numbers are the master of. So there's a mastery here of either that dance we do, and that dance could be metaphoric. It doesn't have to be exactly drawing attention to us because we're so fleet-footed. Maybe we're fleet-footed with how we handle people, you know, our diplomacy and our tact and skills with navigating situations. It could be more likely about that. So then, what is the next card on this pyramid? And card 2 is, how can you balance this part of yourself with your other self, whether shown through the light pyramid or just really what comes up here in the next card? And it's the reversed Knight of Pentacles. And maybe that reversed Knight of Pentacles says, we're not really like this very much at all. And, you know, well, or that in the balancing of that, we have to really, I'm going to take that back. It's not that we're not like that, but in the balancing of it, we might go bigger than we need to, really sort of pulling back from things or slowing things down incredibly, or maybe just refusing to see all sides of the picture, but therefore we are contracting because mostly we're trying to avoid some other truths that may be connected to that. Maybe some of those things brought out by the first set of cards, the light triangle. So then where do these things lead us to then? Where does this idea lead us to? And it's the upright Ace of Wands. And the upright Ace of Wands more or less counters that Ace of Pentacles there. It's literally side by side with it, in a way. This was the first card of the pyramid. This is the last card of the pyramid. It's an alpha omega thing. They're both upright. Where this leads to maybe is really saying this is about something growthful, whether it's a growth of a network, growth of friendships, growth of a business, growth of enterprise that supports community and businesses and friendships and things, all of that all together, is that maybe understanding how to balance some of that ego stuff happening over here, putting a few brakes on that to some degree, slowing it down, is the best option for bringing on more people that can be helpful to you. Seeing your vision. All right, so as I said before, or maybe I didn't, there's actually a point in the center, the overall resolution to things, and I call that, like I have from the various other parts of Goth Tarot, the iterations, I call that the dark gift. And the dark gift is what kind of pulls it all together and shows you what your best set of skills, intuitions, instincts, resources, abilities, magical or otherwise, could actually help you here. What is that dark gift? Interesting. It's the Three of Swords again. And we had the Three of Swords over here completing the light triangle. This one's a little different. It's definitely got those darker aspects here. Your dark gift is understanding that there is a lot of things that separate you from the rest of the world, you from the people who are not as shadow side-minded, the people who don't look at goth lifestyles or alternatives portraying a reality that we see. And so in that sense, the gift really would be knowing when to pull back, when to hold back. And that even when you feel that sense of separation, it could also be wiser to say holding that back, not showing that, but maybe pulling away from that abyss a little bit and letting other people go on. You know, people are fickle. They do tend to forget things easily. I tend to believe that. All right, I'm going to do some shadow work now. From the Earth and Bone Oracle deck by Syrian Shadow. For shadow work, I have pulled Prudence, number 30. Self-assurance, honesty, integrity, perceptiveness, clear-mindedness. You may have people in your life who do not share your values or opinions, yet you can still coexist and walk hand in hand because you are self-assured. Everything you see, learn, and believe is absolutely okay in your reality, and everything someone else knows and believes is perfectly acceptable in theirs. It's critical at this time that you keep healthy boundaries. Others should not force their ideas, views, or perceptions on you, and you should not tell anybody else that their ideas, beliefs, or realities are untrue. Each of us is living in a world based on our experiences, and only you know what that world is like. Your sole objective in this moment is to be true to yourself, and that is all you need to think about. Understand the distinction between sharing and forcing. Sharing ideas, opinions, and experiences is a form of energy exchange, not imposing them on others. You can ascend if you fully embrace your existence here and now and listen to your inner knowing without acting like a victim, a bully, or a hero. You may have to spend some time in nature, healing, reflecting, meditating, and getting away from the surroundings or people who are limiting your growth. In order to grow and develop, you may need some solitude. That doesn't imply you have to eliminate people, places, or things completely, but only if they cause an imbalance and cause more harm than good. You can walk beside others while existing in your own reality. Keep in mind that your beliefs are yours and their beliefs are theirs. You have every right to believe what you choose and to live your life as you will. Develop your own beliefs and live trusting and grounded in your reality. Accept yourself completely. Everyone has the right to their own reality. Affirmation. I am in a constant state of harmony. I allow myself to feel deeply. And I like that. I think it went really well because when we were looking at the other cards there, what we did see is that there does seem to be some things that are pulling people into different directions. And it is good for everyone to keep that perspective, that sense of prudence, as the shadow work card says, in trying to understand that sometimes we do have to go our own way. So that's Oberon once again for Goth Tarot, and looking forward to seeing you next time. Don't forget to check out all of our other programming and our live streams on Thursdays and Sundays, as well as the happy hour segment on Saturdays. So take care, everybody, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.